Okay, my bad. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the behavior of money, especially right now during the holiday season. If you guys are not getting that many people booking with you, think about, well, number one, think about the economy. Number two, think about the behavior of money right now. Everyone is kind of conserving for Black Friday and the holiday season. Everyone's kind of shifting their mindset from buying things from them for themselves, which they would do usually, to the people that they love. So does your marketing strategy change with that? Absolutely, absolutely it should. So the people that you normally target, especially in your ads, your behavior should be changing in terms of who you're talking to during the holiday season. So y'all need to really get your bundles together. You need to get your offers together. 20% off is not enough. It's not a strategy, is what I'm saying. 20% off is good to say, but people don't like to do math. People don't like to do math. And if there's not enough value that you've established over the year, during the course of the year to justify 25% off, they're not going to do the math and they're going to go somewhere else to somebody that did. So that's one thing we're going to be talking about in this in-person workshop that we're holding. We're also going to be talking about grants, because my whole thing is like, I'm going to teach you guys how to get clients. I've been doing that shit for years for myself and for my students. That's why I create these online courses. But there's going to be a more of a deep dive on understanding it from my point of view. Because now I for sure know it works. Like, I knew it worked because obviously I grew my brow business with that information. I've helped other students grow their business with the knowledge that I know. But now that I opened my own med spa and weight loss clinic, and I was able to like move transferable knowledge from one business to another, I know that shit works. Because the fact that, I mean, we hit 25K already this month for my med spa, and I just opened August. That is not on accident. It's because I have a strategy. So when I tell you guys you have to be intentional, it's because I want you to have a strategy that you should be executing. Like, you shouldn't just be throwing shit out there and expecting results. Because even if you, like, let's say you were consistent with your social media, right? If you consistently posted, that's great. But also, if you did not have a strategy, how are you going to track the metrics? How are you going to know to keep doing it? Like, if the only metrics for success is, you got likes and follows, that doesn't make sense. That's not a strategy for conversion. So I talk about conversion a lot because people don't understand it. And rightfully so, no one ever taught us about it, right? So understand conversion, whether it's, watcher to follower to paying client. Like, there is an entire journey that you should be putting them on. From the moment that they get onto your platform, the moment they sign up and look at your profile, they're going to decide, am I going to follow this person or not, right? And then based on your education, inspiration, entertainment, and social proof, that's going to dictate conversion from follower to paying client. So I kind of break down that process during my webinars, during my in-person trainings in the same way, because I want you guys to have a client journey, right? So, and for me, it's always like content, DM, close. Content, DM, close. I'm closing everybody in my DMs. And even if I don't get to close them, guess what? They still became a lead. I understand the pipeline that I put them in because I'm intentional with it. So I want you guys to be just as intentional. Even when it comes to your Black Friday sales, like 20% off is not an intentional strategy. That's you just doing that because you see everybody else doing it, or you think that that's what you should be doing. When there should be a plan, a launch, pre-launch, launch, post-launch? And then how are you going to navigate Black Friday, transition into Cyber Monday? And then what are you going to do for December in the holiday sales? Are you going to rinse and repeat, or are you going to do it differently? Are you going to reframe it? Are you going to, what is it that you're doing? Because, if you don't know when to start this process of Black Friday sales, you're missing out. You're missing out on the opportunity to make an obscene amount of revenue during this holiday season. I have a question. How do you deal with stress as an entrepreneur? Good question. I go to therapy. Every Tuesday, I go to therapy and I trauma dump on my therapist. The thing about this is I had a breakthrough. I had a breakthrough last Tuesday, and thank you for asking this question. And it was a decision it was a business decision. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this or this, and I'm stuck. And I was telling my therapist about it. And I said, when I'm indecisive, I feel weak. That's what I was telling her. I feel very weak when I can't make a choice. I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I'm stupid. I feel like, why can't I make a decision between this and this? It's this and this. You know what I mean? And she's like, okay, well, let's talk about why do you feel that indecisiveness is a character flaw? So I was like, I don't know. I just feel like, I'm an adult. I should be able to make a choice between this and this. What is the problem? And I said, well, it really reminds me of my dad taking back my mom. When we were growing up, I was raised by a single father, but my mom would always come in and out, and my dad would just let her. So in relation to why I think being indecisive is a character flaw is because my dad used to take my mom back whenever the fuck she'd want to come back, and me and my sisters were kind of left to be like, okay, now our lives are on pause until she leaves again, right? So it's very crazy how you can really relate triggers in your adulthood into things that happen in your childhood. Watching my dad take my mom back over and over, and I'm just like, dude, why do you keep taking this lady back? She don't like you. She don't like us. She keeps leaving whenever the fuck she wants. So, and then for my mom too, she just kept coming and going. So there's a lot of indecisiveness. Me watching that as a kid, watching adults be super indecisive, for me, that translated as, I don't want to be that. That shit is not what I want to be as an adult. So when I, as an adult now, can't make a choice, I go back to that 8-year-old me where I feel like, this is chaotic. This is fucking chaos. I don't want this. So that was a super huge breakthrough for me, because I'm not weak. Me not being able to make a choice does not affect everyone around me like that. You know what I mean? So if you guys are on your entrepreneurial journey, I 10 out of 10 recommend getting a therapist, because a lot of the things that you guys are going to do in your business reflect personal shit that you're probably doing in your personal life, and it's a healing opportunity. And you wouldn't think it. You really wouldn't. That was an adult thing that I was going through. And yes, good point, because that word choice was brought up during therapy. She's like, you make it seem like you only have two choices. It's very black or white. There's no in between where it's like, it's either this or that. And that's how it was. Watching my parents be super indecisive about their relationship. It's like you either want to be together or you don't. And you guys keep doing this fucking dance, and me and my sisters are left to watch it. So, yeah, it was like, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And having PTSD, in terms of the chaos, absolutely. Why do you think, a lot of the things that I did growing up, I thought I just wanted to be happy. Oh, I'm going to be a nurse because I want to be happy. I want to do this because I want to be happy. Come to find out, I just wanted to feel safe. My entire life, I thought that the moves that I made were to ensure happiness. It was not. It was actually created. I made these moves to feel safe. To feel safe. Yes, therapy. Therapy is a great way to rebalance, but it's not linear. Therapy is not a linear experience. There's going to be days that you feel like you're making such progress, and then you're going to get triggered by something, and you're going to have to go within again and find out, like, why was this experience so triggering for me? But it's like, the word trigger gets such a bad rap, right? Like, especially now where people are like, dang, you're so triggered. You're so triggered. Trigger, the word trigger for me now, all it is a healing opportunity. Whenever I feel triggered in my body, I just know that my body is working. It's saying, hey, there's something about this situation that feels familiar. Let's explore it. Let's go fix it. Let's find a way to find peace. There's nothing wrong with being triggered. And if you guys are triggered, that's okay. Just know that your body is doing its job. It's telling you to pay attention to this particular experience. I know the problem because chemical imbalance. It's very hard to say that. Natural health Wong, because you don't know people. You can't just go onto someone's live and say, you have a chemical imbalance. I mean, that could very well be true, but you can't diagnose people online. Like, no. I hope that's not your business in doing so. Don't diagnose people off of live. That's crazy. But I'm saying, I feel that triggers need to be normalized. It needs to be an experience that you embrace. Do not feel like there's something wrong with you when you're triggered. You have to really look at it as like, my body is working. This is a great experience. It's calling my attention. It's a call to heal. That's all a trigger is, right? So take the opportunity next time you're triggered to really explore it. Your body is working, okay? And I think that that's the problem, especially as entrepreneurs. We don't utilize the triggers in our business as an opportunity for growth. We look at it like an opportunity, like we're doing something bad, we're not great. You know, bump that. As an entrepreneur, I'm gonna tell you right now, you got two choices. You can either be your own best cheerleader, or you can be your own worst hater. And I promise you, only one of the two is gonna get you to your goals. And it ain't the one that's hating on you every day. Okay? I'm an entrepreneur. I want to become an RN. Do you recommend it? Okay. When it comes to the RN thing, if you want to be a nurse, yes, do it. I'm always going to encourage people to be whatever they want to be. I want you to go follow your highest excitement. When I became a nurse, it was, number one, it was all that I knew. I come from a Filipino background. Majority of my family members are nurses. So it was just something that was already in my space, and I wanted to do it. And then on top of that, I grew up hearing it was stable. So I'm like, cool, like stable, who doesn't want stable, right? And then on top of that, I had a kid really young. So I had to go that route. I did find the beauty industry after I already had my master's degree. So I already had my RN degree. Now, do I recommend, you do this? Absolutely, if it's something that you want to do. RN school is hard. RN school is long, and it ain't for people that really don't know if they want to do it. You get me? So if your goal ultimately is to do aesthetics and medical beauty services, absolutely go do it. And it doesn't matter how old you are. I literally start nurse practitioner school in January, and I'm 40 years old. So I don't care. Don't let age be a factor to your success, your business, your goals, because we just get better. If you take the lessons, every lesson that you learn, and you turn it into a fucking weapon, you are going to be so much wiser by the time you're 40, right? So it's like you're just better prepared for shit like school stuff. So yeah, I'm going back to nurse practitioner school in January because I do own a med spa. But you have to really sit down with yourself, like, do I want to do this? Because what I'm telling you is, like, nursing is not something you roll into, like, I'm gonna go take a certificate class. Like, that's not it. That shit is crazy. So have that conversation with yourself. Be super transparent. Like, okay, what are the reasons why I want to do this? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, the thing about nursing is it takes a long time. You could do an ADN program where it's like 2 years. You could do a BSN program, which is 4 years. And 4 years will go by faster if you love it. Do you get what I'm saying? But if you don't love nursing or the idea of nursing, because you can't just roll straight in, they ain't just going to be talking about lip injections and stuff. You have to learn the whole scope. So if you don't love it, 2 years is going to sound like 200 years. If you love it, 2 years is going to be like, cool, I'm interested in this shit anyway. So that's what I mean about having a conversation with yourself about why you want to become a nurse and the ultimate goal outside of it, you know? Because the good thing is, if you already own a business, understanding nursing and how to start your own med spa is going to be easy. Because I was able to do I think I would have been able to start my med spa in the way that I did without the knowledge that I had from my brow business and all my other businesses? I think I could have, but it would have been very difficult. The reason why I was able to open my med spa within 2 months and have clients is because of my transferable knowledge. So, you know, the good thing also is if you already have a business, it's easier for you to go through nursing school, to pay your tuition, because you already got a schedule that's working for you. So if you wanted to become a nurse and you wanted to go to school, you just adjust your business schedule around it. So yeah, I think, you know, if you're in a good space and you want to do that, but just make sure you're doing it for the right reason. Because if it's money, the money ain't gonna come fast enough. You get me? Like, you got to go to school still. It's a long period. But can you do it? Absolutely. I think anybody has the capability of doing whatever they want to do. But it's not just the want. You have to feel like you deserve it. Because when I tell you that even my nursing school was difficult for me to get through, it's because it absolutely was. I was not a school person at all. The fact that I have a master's degree is only by the graces of God, because I don't even know how I was able to do it. But now, in my bigger age of 40, I feel like, okay, I understand things differently. I'm able to navigate my personal and my business life differently. And yeah, I'm prepared for the nursing program, the nurse practitioner program that I'm about to enter. So you should be a therapist. How do you balance social media presence with your day-to-day business development and growth? The thing about social media, guys, I really want to just, when it comes to my social media specifically, if you are struggling out there to just show up as you, that's part of the client journey. You really can't create content around somebody else. So when I create content, before you guys go creating content, I want you to write down who you are, like who you truly are. Then I want you to write down who they are. Who are you trying to help? Right? If you don't know who you are and you don't know who they are, who you're trying to help, it's hard for you to create content around yourself and who you're trying to help. The goal is always the impact. It's never about the money. The money just comes when you understand who you're trying to help, and you create a voice and a platform to speak on who you're trying to help. So balancing the presence is, for me, I just show up. This is who you get. In person, on this app, it doesn't matter to me in terms of, like, you get who you get. If I'm fucking sad, I'm gonna talk about it. If I had a breakthrough in therapy, I'm gonna talk about it. If I'm doing great, I'm gonna talk about it. If I'm not, I'm gonna talk about it. That's on the business side. On the personal side, the reason why I show up in the way that I do is because I treat my Instagram like a diary of my life. If I were to die tomorrow, my kids can always look back on my Instagram and be like, look at my mom. Like, they have all these memories of me. And when they watch my lives, I hope something that I say in my lives helps them somehow. Like, if I'm not here in the physical to walk them through a problem that they're having, I hope that one of my lives helps them. I hope that they feel connected to me still. And even when I'm old and in a wheelchair, I'll be like, yes, I was that bee back then. Look, I'm in a wheelchair now, but I was dancing before. Yes, my legs worked. Your grandma looked good. Like, this is a diary of my life. So if you're still struggling to show up on your social media, like, it's a diary. It's a diary of your life. Your memories museum for your kids, for your grandkids, for your great grandkids, for as long as Instagram will be around. You are encapsulated in that. So that's why I do what I do. I don't, it's not hard for me to have a social media presence, because my presence is me showing up for my business, number one, but also showing up for my kids and my future grandkids so that they can see, shoot, I was dope. I was really that girl, you know? And yeah, the lives that I do are really so that, like, I can speak to people that I normally might not be able to speak to. I hope I resonate in someone's space this morning. I hope, you know, they say one healing soul can resonate 80,000 souls on their own healing journey. That's literally, I read that somewhere. And do I believe it? Yes. In this day and age of social media, why not? Why couldn't one healing soul that just talks about the benefits of liking themselves and being better, why couldn't that be? I have over 80,000 followers. Do I think that if somebody caught my live and they were already on their healing journey and they were doubting themselves, do I think they would help? Yes, absolutely. That's why I post the things that I post, to help me and remind myself of where I, you know, yesterday when I posted, or the other day I posted like 20s, 30s, and 40s, where I've been, the things that I've done. You know, a lot of the success that I have now is truly because I'm not ashamed of my mistakes and my past. A lot of people don't want to share the fuck up. They don't want to share the version of them that didn't know it. But it's like, all of us didn't know what the fuck we were doing at some point, especially if you're a beginner. It keeps you humble. It keeps you authentic. It keeps you relatable to everyone, because nobody up in here is perfect. And if you look at someone's Instagram and they're just like, life is great, we love it, like, shit, good for you. But also, does it make sense? No. It's not realistic, you know? So share your story. And that was something that I told my mentee as well. She just started my one-on-one mentorship program, and she said, my views are really low. So I go and look at her profile. I said, girl, it's because no one knows who you are. I said, you have amazing before and after pictures. Beautiful. Like, we all know what you do and you're great at it. But at the end of the day, nobody knows who you are. You have to show up a little more. Like, do something funny. Like, if you love being funny, like being silly, go do that. You know what I mean? Do some lives. Post who you are. And then she hit me up yesterday. She's like, hey, by the way, my real views are up by a lot after we changed my strategy. I said, yeah, because people want to, you can't just hide behind your service, you know, especially when it comes to branding. That's another thing we're talking about in the workshop, is branding. Understanding your brand. Who are you? What is the brand, right? So we're talking about that, and I have social media strategists who are coming to speak specifically about branding and how to understand your brand. Hi, cousin. Oh my God, I was just thinking about you guys. So this is my little cousin, Justin. He's like the male version of me. And I was getting the kids lunch ready today, and I was thinking about like what determines how your lineage is getting better. Like, how do you know that your lineage is getting stronger? And this is just a thought I was having. And I was thinking about my little cousins, and I was like, damn, like they are so much more well off than we were. Like me and my group of cousins, because we was still at the club doing dumb shit, and we were living with our parents, and the cousins after us was really like, they're living their lives. They got families. They all got houses. They're all nurses. They're all doing something. And I was like, that's how you know your lineage is getting stronger. That's how you know your family line is getting stronger, because it just gets better as the generations come. My daughter literally owns a business, and she makes $70K last year. I know she's about to make $80K or something this year. She's going to have more, you know what I mean? So it's like, and she's 19. So that is how you can tell your lineage is getting stronger, because every generation just gets better and better. So yes, I was thinking about you guys, cousins, this morning. But I'm very, very proud of all of you guys for being amazing parents. You know, we are doing things out here. But yes, I just got to the salon. I have a bunch of calls this morning. You guys have an amazing day. I love you. Love you, love you. Love you guys. Bye.